Hey everybody, Pastor Scott here. It is May 22nd, 2020, and it's time for a daily psalm. Our daily psalm today is Psalm 52, and you're going to hear it first from the New Revised Standard Version in the Lutheran Study Bible, page 904, and then I'm going to read it from the Message, contemporary translation by Eugene Peterson. Today's Psalm 52 has a tag on it that connects it to the story of Doeg the Edomite, which is in 1 Samuel chapters 21 and 22. And that is the story of when David and his men were being pursued by King Saul and his armies, and they find their way to the sanctuary at Nob. And there the priests talk to David, and he convinces them to allow them to feed his army with the holy bread, the show bread, which was normally off limits to anybody but the priests. And more than that, they give him the sword of Goliath. Remember the great Philistine hero that the young David kills in single combat. So apparently there was a guy named Doeg the Edomite who was a servant of King Saul who happened to be hanging around the sanctuary at Nob, and he witnessed all these things happen. So after David and his men disappear with, their bellies full and this sword that they're not supposed to have, Saul shows up with his army and asks Doeg what happened, and Doeg tells the story, and Saul gets upset and orders the death of all the priests there at the sanctuary. Very bloody and horrible scene. And so this is supposedly written after David finds out about how Doeg betrayed him to Saul, and obviously was not very happy about that. Later Jewish reflection on this psalm, and in connection with the story, yielded all kinds of literature about Doeg and what kind of person he was. Just like today when people make movies of the Bible and add all kinds of stuff, make stuff up. People did that back, many years ago. They called them midrashes. These are almost like novels based on the narratives in the Bible. And there's a lot of fanciful details in there that people just thought this would be cool if it was like this. So we have portraits of Doeg being super evil and conniving against David, although he was also a very brilliant scholar. It says that he was brilliant in mind, but was not pious of heart. So we've got all kinds of interesting personality traits that we find in the later literature about this guy, but we don't really know that much about him just based on what's in the Bible. Here it is, Psalm 52. Why do you boast, O mighty one, of mischief done against the godly? All day long you are plotting destruction. Your tongue is like a sharp razor, you worker of treachery. You love evil more than good, and lying more than speaking the truth. You love all words that devour, O deceitful tongue. But God will break you down forever. He will snatch and tear you from your tent. He will uproot you from the land of the living. The righteous will see and fear, and will laugh at the evildoer, saying, See the one who would not take refuge in God, but trusted in abundant riches and sought refuge in wealth. But I am like a green olive tree in the house of God. I trust in the steadfast love of God forever and ever. I will thank you forever because of what you have done. In the presence of the faithful, I will proclaim your name, for it is good. All right, now, Psalm 52 from the Message. Why do you brag of evil, big man? God's mercy carries the day. You scheme catastrophe. Your tongue cuts razor sharp. Artisan in lies, you love evil more than good. You call black white. You love malicious gossip, you foul mouth. God will tear you limb from limb, sweep you up and throw you out. pull you up by the roots from the land of life. Good people will watch and worship. They'll laugh in relief. Big man bet on the wrong horse, trusted in big money, made his living from catastrophe. And I'm an olive tree, growing green in God's house. I trusted in the generous mercy of God then and now. I thank you always that you went into action, and I'll stay right here. Your good name, my hope, in company with your faithful friends.